Choose Shimamura Fashion Centre. Hair stick. It's a disposable chopstick dress. I made this myself. It has pears and then the pockets have sweets on them. This is Lay of the Land, my gardening vlog and general catch-up time. I'm going to show you what's been going on in my garden, what the next stages are, and yeah, take you along. Let's get to it. Starting in the greenhouse or out front, the pansies are pretty much done flowering now, but the crocosmia is taking over. Yay! So they're going to be blooming soon. It's been really hot lately. My Japanese cucumbers that my friend Rose sent me seeds for are doing fantastically. They're really taking off on this trellis that I made. And we've got a tomato coming through as well. I also had a couple of little tomatoes and some flower seedlings left, so I've just put them in up here. Out on the seedling bench, there's basically nothing left. I don't have any seedlings on the go at the moment. I'm going to plant up some kale and other winter vegetables soon, so this will be occupied once again. These here are apples that I've grown from Pip. I'm going to do a video about that soon. And the guinea pigs are out in the sunshine today. So cute. The flower bed here by the front deck has had a really good tidy up, like lots and lots of weeds taken out. Dianthus are flowering now, so they've taken over from some of the other things. I did the edge as well, so you can see the edge really nice against the lawn, and some pleasant surprises found among the weeds. I've got a nigella that survived here, and this nasturtium. Hooray! The strawberries are not doing so well though. Here in the quadrant we've had a couple of changes. I planted some leftover beans in this one here. That tomato is coming on really well as well. The salad is pretty much done. I'm actually letting it go to seed because I want to collect some of the seeds from it. And I'm not sure what I'm going to plant here. Maybe some brassicas, maybe like some winter kale and stuff like that. Up here, this was the rocket bed. That's all been cleared off now. And I've planted potatoes in here, so they're going to be our, this is all like the Christmas beds. We're going to have our roast potatoes, and then the parsnips have just gone crazy. These guys are so high, like if I pull that straight, that comes up to my shoulder. They've gone mental. Love them. Round this way I've got a surviving sunflower. Hooray! Not very many of them. This bed has not done so well. We had heavy rain for a long time and the slugs just went crazy. I've got a couple of survivors. That's a globe artichoke and I've got another one there. Oh, I did have a lupin yesterday, but that's been slugged as well. There's one nigella left. Oh no, and another one over there. Hooray! And some remaining squash, but that's had a really good chew too. So unfortunately not so good in this bed, but there have been some good results over here. This squash, I think it's the black futsu squash, is coming on really well, putting out loads of shoots. I've had one bean on this big bean trellis take off and really do well, so we're going to have beans soon on there. And we've definitely got beans going on one of the beans here in front of the shed. Let me show you. So soon enough there will be green beans to eat. I don't actually really like green beans, but I admire the flowers and I like the plants. This down here is my globe courgette. Because of the heavy rains, I'm not sure if stuff has been getting pollinated. So you see there, this fruit is like rotting. That's because it hasn't been able to get pollinated. On the left of the path, the lavender is blooming. We have a lot of lavender out the front of the house. I'm not going to show you because I don't like showing the front of my house on the internet. But here as well, there's a lovely bush of it. I've just got to keep the bindweed off it. I want to take some cuttings of that. And I've moved the trees. This is now the tree nursery box. Here are all my baby trees. Up here the weeds have just gone kind of crazy. There's a lot of feral raspberries in there. They don't make fruit unfortunately, and it's all covered in bindweed now. I think this pink flower I'm seeing here might be rose bay willow herb. I think this one is rose bay willow herb. I'm not sure because I mainly see it out of the window of a car while driving like down the motorway, my friend will be like, oh look, there's rose bay willow herb, but maybe that's it as well. The bindweed's taken over the willow pile too, and I need to move these logs that are down here, these willow logs down here eventually. But I have been using some of the wood. I used it to make a trellis in the greenhouse, as you saw, and I'm hoping to do a few other things with it, some more structures and maybe some little craft projects. I might do some spoon carving. Up here is pretty weedy too. One of the many principles of permaculture is that you should observe a place. And, you know, I've never really taken the time to think about how light works in this garden. I actually thought these trees were blocking out a lot more light than they are, but as you can see, this area gets quite a lot of light. So maybe this is where I put in a wildlife pond. I definitely want to do a hanging chair at some point from this apple tree. Actually, the apple tree, I see apples up there. This is the old apple tree. This was here when we moved in 1997. This is a very old tree, and we have some apples this year, so that's fantastic. There's a little ash sapling that I need to take out this winter as well. Over here I've done a huge amount of weeding today and really bashed things back. It got very out of control when it was raining a lot, and then it was just being sunny at the weekends when I was working, so I didn't have a chance to clear it. This was an end bed here, and I've just covered it with cardboard. I want to do some more cardboard mulching just to really keep things in control. We've got our gooseberry bushes here, they're hanging on. There's loads of opium poppies everywhere in the garden. I spread lots of seed around, and they did have lovely pink flowers on them, but they've gone now. And now we've just got these fantastic structural flower heads. I've got another surviving sunflower here, which I'm really happy about. I wanted to have sunflowers all along this back wall, but instead we had a lot of slugs. Yeah, so maybe next year I'll be able to do a big patch of sunflowers here. You can see this apple tree is coming on really nicely, getting all of its summer growth, and another bean plant trying to fleeter next door there. I'm not sure what I can do about that, maybe thread some strings across for it to run. And actual tomato fruits. Look at this. Actual tomatoes, hooray! Here's a huge success story. This is my sweet corn, and it is so tall. Actually coming up, you know, kind of to my waist height. So that's really good. These last couple of really sunny days have just helped that growth. It's doing great. I'm really happy with it. Other things maybe haven't done so well, and one of those is my summer raspberries. They just didn't get enough water when they needed to. I've only got one cordon left. It did make some fruit. I managed to have one whole raspberry. The birds got the other ones, which is a bit of a shame. There is a feral tomato growing in here, and it looks really happy and healthy, so I'm just going to leave it. I will pinch out some bits of it at some point, but I'm just going to leave that in there. Sure, it will compete with the corn, but that's not actually that much of a problem, I don't think. And you can see, oh, there's a wasp in there. This is the flower stalk. This is going to shed pollen that then shakes down to the lower limbs and makes our corn cob. I think in a couple of weeks this corn will be flowering and pollinating itself, so that's exciting. My autumn raspberries have actually done pretty well. I'm really happy with these, and I can see little tiny flowers getting ready to form. So we will have fruit off these, hopefully. I might need to net it to keep off birds. I don't know what this is. I guess it's a type of grass. Oh, you can also see where I injured my finger by drilling into it. Yeah, there are so many different kinds of grass in this garden. There's so many different types of grass in this garden, and these ones look like little pine cones. I think they're completely beautiful. Up here I did have a cucumber, and then the chickens came and scratched it up, so thank you. Thanks for nothing. Killing my cucumber yesterday. Just really unnecessary. Look at you. Not very happy in this heat. But over here on the lovely, very rustic trellisy thing, we do have a couple of beans that have survived. This blackcurrant plant over here has also just about survived, the Poundland one. It's put on some good new growth actually. And I've got a tomato down there as well. I have had to trim back some of this ash tree, and I will trim it again in winter and maybe cut it right down to the stump. It's quite useful to have ash poles because you can use them for weaving things and projects and stuff, but it just blocks too much light and takes up a bit too much space in my vegetable plot. So I've got to rethink that. Another one of my apples doing very well. The trees have done great. I'm really happy with them. What has not done great is my onions. My onions have been completely overwhelmed by weeds. This was all a carpet of green geraniums earlier today. And now you can just see a couple of onions still surviving in them. They are tiny. I mean, honestly, that's not that much bigger than the set that I planted. So not great success on the onion front. And oh, here's some more grass. This is what I'm talking about. This looks like wheat. So I think this has maybe come off the straw I mulch with, which is pretty cool. I just moved this courgette, this beautiful courgette. You can see nigella flowers. This is the variety Persian Jewels, so they come in white, blue and pink. I don't have a pink one to show you at the moment. I'm really glad they've survived. I love nigella flowers. And my kale is doing really well, but I need to be very vigilant because the cabbage white butterflies are out and they love kale. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see that tiny little white dot? That is a caterpillar egg. So what you have to do, what you can do, is just go around, stroke your plants, and do a little caterpillar birth control, or maybe even caterpillar abortion, because otherwise this will be stripped. It will be stripped to lace, and I will show you what I mean, because this is what slug damage has done to my cauliflower. I do have a cauliflower. It is the size of a golf ball rather than a football. But look at the slugs and the pigeons. There's so much slime on here. It's disgusting. They've just made lace out of this cauliflower. And this one next to it. Do you see those yellow things? Those are all caterpillar eggs. So there are a few different varieties of butterflies that lay their eggs on brassicas. And the thing with manual removal like this is that you're not going to catch them all. And I don't want to catch them all, you know, the butterflies have a right to exist, but I don't want them to be doing that much damage. Because if they do that much damage, then, you know, you're really... Oh, there's already one. I can see one. Can you see him? That is a caterpillar. There he is, he's moving. That's a caterpillar. Pretty amazing that my phone camera can pick this up. Anyway, I do not want my kales to be stripped entirely, but I understand that butterflies gotta live as well. They deserve food and habitat and bloody blah. I will stop talking about them now because it's very hot. And it's kind of boring talking about cauliflower, cabbage, butterflies. Down here at the back, I did have my chicken bedding going into this compost Dalek. It wasn't decomposing at all, even though I was like pouring water and stuff on it. It wasn't really breaking down, so I made this kind of stable heap out of, well, I say stable, can't really call it that. Stable as in looks like a horse stable, not stable as in barely held together with some very dodgy woodwork. This is all pallets that we've saved from like hay deliveries and other deliveries and stuff. and you can use them for very, very easy projects like this. So this is going to rot down now, make a really good compost that I can just put directly on my garden, hopefully. Out here on the back strip, there are some beautiful wildflowers going on. I've got whatever this is, I don't know what it is, maybe it's... I don't know these things. I need to get better at wildflower identification. This is, I'm going to say maybe a member of the carrot family. Maybe Angelica or something. Maybe it's hemlock. Maybe it's hemlock. I don't know. But I've got an oxeye daisy here. And a few other things around. Like these beautiful purple plants. And I've been seeing lots and lots and lots of bees and hoverflies and beneficial insects in the garden. I just need to hack this back a little bit more and encourage the girls to stay in this zone when they free range instead of going and murdering my cucumber. The girls themselves are mostly good. They're suffering a little bit in the heat today because this heat's come on very suddenly. We went from about 20 Celsius to about 30 Celsius in the space of a week without a proper warm-up. They're all good. The only one I'm having issues with at the moment is this little turkey, because she has gone broody again. So she thinks she should be having babies, and she's not going to have babies because we do not have a rooster. So yeah. No babies, Nanami. So that's it pretty much. I am doing well in myself. My finger has healed nicely. I've been doing some cool art projects. I did a painting recently and I don't paint very often, so I'm really happy about that. I want to keep doing some paintings and stuff. And I'm just, even though that it's horrendously hot today and we're not used to it and I've not had any warm up, I'm actually really glad the summer is here. Hopefully the slug population will die down a little bit. My parents saw a hedgehog the other day, so we know that there's a population of them in the local area. And yeah, I'm feeling very positive about the garden. Not everything has gone perfectly, but that's not to be expected, especially in a first year of taking on a plot that's so heavily weeded. I can see a white butterfly there in the middle. That's my main foe now. You and the slugs. Well, I should get back to trimming down excess hedges and drinking cold green tea. I hope you're all having a very lovely summer, and I hope you join me next time to see what's been going on in my garden. Bye bye!